Hello everyone, it's Church, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting live stream. In this video, I'm going to be talking about June 5th, 2019. Today is June 6th, 2019, at 12:02 a.m., aka midnight oh 02. We're currently streaming from Huntsville, Alabama. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Right now, I'm about to get the live dashboard set up. That way, I will be able to talk with you all about, how you're doing today. If you have any questions for your boy, if you have any discussion topics you like to talk about on the stream, and of course, about like what I did today. Didn't really do too much today. Mainly just hung around the house, texted with Beth. I hit up CCRE, the Center for Cybersecurity Research and Education. I was like, hey, I hope that things are going well with like the offer letter. I'm just curious if there's anything that I should be doing at the moment in order to like get that moving and keep that progressing. And they were like, the offer letter stuff, it's like going through the motions. It's like in the process, but there's nothing we can really do. We just have to wait for the bureaucracy of everything, and then you'll get the offer letter. It's just we gotta go through it. So I'm still kind of in that mode where I'm like, I know that I have a job, but I don't have a job yet. So I'm just waiting to get the job before I can like do stuff like move out and like get my own apartment and like stuff like that. Um, so it's like I feel like I'm ready to do like some adulting stuff, but the adulting stuff isn't ready for me yet. Is that kind of thing. So I've been chilling at the house for the most part. I had the Simply Granola cereal again, and it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Yesterday I kind of shat on it, but it's growing on me. I actually did really enjoy the bowl of Simply Granola that I had today. I had some chili cheese Fritos. I had a cup of strawberry yogurt, and I had an enchilada with the Taco Bell mild sauce. That is still horrible. I still hate that. That's even if I like douse the thing in sauce, it's still just not worth eating. It's just no flavor. It's really weird. Mm. I saw the Stadia Connect thing that they did, the big reveal of like the Google Stadia stuff. And I honestly am pretty hyped for Google Stadia, not gonna lie. I've noticed a lot of people are hating on it, but I don't really understand why. Because I think Google Stadia base is actually a pretty good idea. So real quick, Ryan popped into the live chat and he said, "Fool, yo Ryan, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream?" So Google Stadia base, um, because now they've introduced like the different plans for Google Stadia. So you can either do Google Stadia Pro, Google Stadia Founders Edition, or you can do Google Stadia Base. I don't give a fuck about Pro or Founders Edition. I'm just gonna talk about Base. Google Stadia Base isn't gonna come out until next year, apparently. So if you want to play Google Stadia this year, you're gonna want to get Founders Edition and I guess Pro would be two options for this year. I don't care about this year. Google Stadia Base. Next year, if you want to play games on Google Stadia, all you need is like something that works with the Chrome browser, right? That's not your phone unless you have like a Google Pixel. Um, and money to buy a game. Because Google Stadia base is just like, you can just buy games on Stadia and then play them in your browser. And then if you have like at least 10 megabits per second internet speed, you can play at the bare minimum of like 720p. But if you're running with at least like 20 something, no, I think it's like 32 megabits per second, you can play at least at like 1080p. Google Stadia base is just worth it. I can just play games and stream them with the greatest of ease from even like my Chromebook if I want, like AAA games. So yeah, I'm probably gonna get like games on Google Stadia. It just sounds good. The subscription is kind of ass, but other than that, uh, Google Stadia base is pretty good. Let's see. You're asked if I would ever suck a dick. I would not. There we go. Then Ryan said, the Del Toro Quest anime has filler. So what is Del Toro Quest? I don't think I've ever heard of that before. Let's see. Kells did some badass fan art I've already commented on it on the Amino, but I'm gonna show it to you guys. It's essentially me if I had my own Omnitrix and I transformed into like a member of the Reach, like essentially a Blue Beetle style character. And I really dig this fan art. My name for it would be Armoron, like the name for the transformation. Kells mentions that the name that he would give to it is a White Beetle. Let's see. Ryan said Del Toro Quest is a series of short fantasy novels. What's like the basic story of Del Toro Quest? So real quick, let me full screen this. Okay, so this is Kells' fan art of me essentially as Blue Beetle. If I transformed into like a Blue Beetle type character using my own special Omnitrix called the Splicer. I actually really dig this fan art. I feel like he did a solid job. This is probably my favorite fan art that I've received so far. He kind of sort of did the beard thing by the way that he whites out this section of the face. It kind of makes like the beard shape. I feel like he did a really good job at like giving it the dreads. Um, I dig it. It kind of gives me Predator vibes, even though it's not like a Predator based thing. I'm that based thing. But I do definitely really enjoy this design. This is definitely my favorite piece of fan art that I've received so far. It has a lot of cool stuff in it. Like I feel like Blue Beetle is one of the coolest designed superheroes like in the first place. Like I really like the way that Blue Beetle is designed in general. Ben 10 is one of like my biggest fandoms that I'm like really into. And then it's like me. It's like me combined with like two of my favorite things. Smash that like button on the Amino. Definitely feel free guys to hit up the Amino and show that love for this fan art. This is definitely my favorite that I've received so far. So thank you again, Kels. Truly appreciate that. Getting the phone set back up. So Ryan said, Michelle tells me it is written by an Australian, talking about Del Toro Quest, and she watched parts of the English dub of the Japanese cartoon. So Del Toro Quest is a series of short fantasy novels written by an Australian guy that have been adapted into a Japanese anime that has an English dub. So if you watch the English dub, then well, no, well that's interesting. So I'm imagining that the Australian novels are written in English. So if I might be wrong, but if they are written in English, then that means that if you're watching the English dub, that you're probably hearing English that was changed to Japanese that was changed back to English, which seems like it would be rather interesting. And then Ryan said, and the anime seems to totally suck. How so? Like, how bad are we talking? Mm. Like, so bad it's not even funny, or like so bad it is funny. Um, I feel like that's a pretty binary thing. I was gonna add like another option. So bad it's kind of funny, but not as funny as if it was super funny. That would be the third option. So I guess I'm asking, is it so bad that it's like not enjoyable? Is it bad but you can like get a laugh in? Or is it like really bad to the point that it's like good and you're like laughing the whole time? Like where does it fall into like that particular spectrum of bad? Mm. Oh, by the way, we ran out of the like sweet grapefruit cocktail, which is just like a sugary grapefruit juice. And now I'm drinking the pineapple cranberry juice. I am indeed a fan of this juice. It's pretty good. Mm. I didn't really do much today. Aiden had to go to a meeting. He has to do a meeting like every Thursday. Um, Beth apparently covered a lot of material in her physics class, so the pace went a little bit faster than she expected. So I hope that she does well with that. Um, Me and Beth talked throughout the day mainly. I just mainly texted with her. I published a book I remember that fantasy book I was telling you guys about, To Become a Dragon? The one about the kid who wants to become a dragon, and the wizard who wants to live a normal life, and the bandit who like killed the kid's family. I've already published that book. It's like a pretty short book. I'm pretty sure you can buy the ebook of it now. Like it's like available in the Amazon store. It's called To Become a Dragon, Book One: The Stubborn and the Wise. Um, and the paperback should be out like either later tonight, if not now, on Amazon. Let's see. Ryan said Michelle says it's bad and entertaining due to how bad it is. And then Ryan put a question mark at the end. Are you like asking me if Michelle said it? Or are you saying that that's what Michelle said? Because I'm not sure where you're coming from with that question mark. I need to stop trying to drink things sideways. Well, Ryan, I still don't know what you mean. There we go. That's just significantly easier than trying to drink it sideways. But yeah, I've been reading a lot of comics today, I suppose. I read Savage Avengers issue 1 and issue 2. Not a bad book, not a bad book at all. I guess what I really liked about it is that issue 1 and issue 2 seemed to go by really quickly. Like I didn't feel like at any point that it was like dragging on too long. Um it's essentially like Conan the Barbarian, Wolverine, Punisher, and Venom. Oh, and Doctor Voodoo on a like superhero team together, and it takes place in the Savage Land, which is like an island where like there are dinosaurs and shit and like primitive civilizations, and it seems like a cool concept. In the first issue, you get to see Conan the Barbarian fight Wolverine, and it's like a pretty dope fight. Um, I guess I don't want to spoil other stuff about it, but it seems like a pretty good book. It's worth checking out. Yo, Kels. Okay, so Kels, you already missed the part where I like geeked out about the fan art, and I talked about how like it was like the best fan art that I've like received so far, and how I like really liked it, and I like showed the fan art like on the stream, and I was like, yo, it like gives me like Predator vibes, and it's like a combination of like all my favorite things. Like it's my favorite colors. It's like Blue Beetle, who's one of like my favorite design like superheroes. It has like the Omnitrix stuff, and of course I'm like a huge Ben 10 fan, and of course it has like me in it. So it really encapsulates a lot of the things that I just like in general. So I really fuck with it. That's my favorite fan art so far. I really like it. Thank you. I truly appreciate that fan art. And then Kel said, "Oh, I'll go back and check it out." Oh, ballin'. Also, thank you for tuning in. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Mm. Let's see. I caught up with Savage Dragon. I read Savage Dragon backwards from like the latest issue to the last issue I read. And it's still good. Still feels really real, which is what I like. It's a superhero book that's about a superhero's normal life, and then some superhero shit will happen, like in each issue, but it's also like a superhero book where he doesn't have a secret identity. Like it's about his everyday life and his struggles with his family and his friends, and he does superhero shit, but the superhero shit isn't necessarily separated from his everyday life. Like he doesn't like wear a mask. He's like always a superhero, and he just has to live that life like 24/7. And it's really interesting. And it's an ongoing book, and like real world events will splash over into like what happens like in the story. Um, Big changes happened in Savage Dragon. After like the most recent like presidential election, it's like stuff was like put in from that, and it's had like a big effect on like where the story's going. And I like it. Savage Dragon's like a really good book. I definitely recommend it, but I wouldn't recommend it for the faint of heart. There's definitely a good bit of like gore, like graphic gore, um, sexual stuff as well. If you're not like a fan of like blood, gore, or like nudity, or like swearing, there's definitely like cursing. It's a mature book. I'll give you that. But it's not a book where I feel like it's too like overly grotesque or anything like that. There are moments that are really crazy, but it's not a thing where they're constantly doing it just to do it. It makes sense within the context of the world that's presented. Which is what I really vibe with when it comes to Savage Dragon. Let's see. I read the latest issue of Tony Stark Iron Man. He's fighting a dragon, but the dragon is also like one of the greatest students of Dormammu. So he's like a sorcerer who's also a dragon. And you get to see a cat that's wearing Stark technology so it can talk, arm like a fucking cat based Iron Man suit. So it's like a big ass Iron Man suit made for a cat to fit in. And it's more or less like a robot big cat mech piloted by a talking cat fighting a dragon. If you're not reading Tony Stark Iron Man, maybe you should. Maybe you should. It's been pretty good. It's been one of my favorite like comics of the year. It's been Tony Stark Iron Man. They need to keep doing shit like that, and they have been consistently. It's been really solid. Let's see. What else did I read today? I'm not sure. I thought there was a new issue of Superior Spider-Man out, and I checked and then I didn't see one. So I was like, oh, well, maybe not, or maybe there is, but it's just not available on like the comic source that I normally look at. Um, I could probably read the new Deathstroke. I just haven't, because Deathstroke is dead, but his book seems to still be going. So even though he's a dead ass nigga, they're like, we're not ending his run, and it's like, oh, but in his run, he's also dead. Like, it's not like he's alive in his own book. He's still dead in his book, but it's still going. So I'm interested to see what they're doing with that. Like, they didn't just cancel it when he died. They're like, there's still more story to tell, which is interesting. Certain characters in DC don't get that treatment. It'll be a thing where, oh, and then they, like, join the Justice League, and that's the end of their run. If you want to see any more of them, you gotta read Justice League now. This isn't even a thing where it's like Deathstroke joined a team, so if you want to see more Deathstroke, you gotta read his team book. It's he's dead, and you can keep reading his book. It doesn't matter that he's dead. And it's like, oh, okay. It makes me think he'll either come back or he's gonna be like replaced. Like there's gonna be like a new Deathstroke or a new title character for the Deathstroke book. And I think that's what interests me about it. The idea that there could be like a successor, or there could be or he could just be coming back. You know what I mean? I think that could be interesting. Excuse me. Let's see. I already talked about Google Stadia and how I'm really hyped for that. I guess a few things about Google Stadia that I'm hyped about. Dragon Ball's Universe 2 is on the Google Stadia system. Well, it's not a system. You just stream games, but whatever. You can buy Dragon Ball's Universe 2 for Google Stadia. I want to do that next year. I own a physical copy of Universe 2, and you can't stream it on YouTube on PS4 for whatever reason. Google Stadia has built in YouTube streaming. It's like a big deal for Stadia. If you couldn't stream Xenoverse 2 on Stadia, I'd be pissed. But I'm pretty sure you can. I never play the physical copy of Xenoverse 2 that I have because I can't stream it. But I'd be totally down to stream it if I got it on Stadia and you could stream it. So I'm hyped that there's Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is like out for Stadia. At least it will be out for Stadia like next year for Stadia Base, which is what I'm gonna get. Fuck a subscription. Um, by the way, some people are confused about what's the difference between Stadia Base and Stadia Pro. So Stadia Pro is you can stream games in 4K with 5.1 surround sound. You get discounts on certain games, and they'll occasionally just give you free games simply for being a member, and it's $10 a month. Stadia Base, which is what I want to do, you can stream games. Oh, and keep in mind, for Stadia Pro and for Stadia Base, you still have to buy games. Just because you're paying $10 a month for Stadia Pro doesn't mean you get all the games for free. You just get some games for free. So, for both, you have to buy games. For Stadia Base, you can still buy and stream games on anything that opens with a Chrome browser, except phones, unless it's a Google Pixel, which I kind of hate that, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. I have a Chromebook, it's fine. So you can buy and stream games on anything that can do the Chrome browser, unless it's not a Google Pixel when talking about phones. Um, and you can do it in 1080p, which is fine. I don't have a 4K monitor to begin with, so I couldn't give like any fucks about that. Um, it's not in surround sound; it's in stereo. That's fine. I'm probably gonna be playing on my laptop and shit like that. I don't think I really care about surround sound that hard. And you don't get discounts and you don't get free games, and that's Google Stadia base. I'm like, Google Stadia base just sounds good because the Stadia already has stuff built in that's like, do you want to be able to like stream directly to YouTube with like the press of a button? And do you want to be able to use like Google Assistant like mid game? Do you want to play just wherever you go as long as you have like Wi-Fi and like a Chrome browser? Like I could go to like Starbucks and I could immediately start playing Dragon Ball's Universe 2 without having to have like a console or anything, just like my laptop and like a Stadia controller. And you don't even need a Stadia controller. I could use like a PS4 controller I already own. Um, and I could like stream it to you guys instantly without having to download or install anything from wherever I'm at with Wi Fi. That's just really fucking good. Kel said, I'm back. I'm glad you liked it. I put a lot of effort into it, and it seemed to have paid off. Did I miss anything while I was using Clockwork to go back in time? Mainly just talking about like comic books and Google Stadia for the most part. Ryan said, did you finish the deck? So, Ryan hit me up earlier today, and he was like, hey, I've made like a bunch of like custom cards. I made a new deck, and I want to like duel. And I'm like, I haven't been feeling dueling book recently. I haven't been vibing with dueling book for real. Um, but dueling Nexus, on the other hand, I'm like, I'd be interested in doing dueling Nexus and trying something new, playing a different deck from what I've been playing before. And it took me a while to like make a deck, but I have made a new deck on Nexus. If you guys want to do Nexus, this setup is a little different from what I normally do because I'm not in the room with the monitor. I'm just lying down on the floor chilling. It might take me a moment to get everything set up, but if you guys want to do a Nexus stream, I could do a Nexus stream. Kel said, I hope you like it when I draw the armor on feedback fusion. What was the name of that fusion again? Conduit was the name of that. And also, I'm hella hyped for that. That sounds incredibly dope. So, I like this already is like my favorite fan art that you've made so far. I think the idea of like kicking it up a notch, like taking it even further with the feedback fusion, I think would be really dope. So, I am excited to see that. Let's see. Yer then said, I want to get you drunk. I don't drink. I actually don't drink, smoke, or do drugs. I'm above the influence in like every definition you can imagine. Mm. Yer then said, then I can have you. Nah, I just have free will. But let me see. But Ryan, if you do want to do like a dueling nexus thing, if you guys want to do dueling nexus in general, then yeah, we can like hit that up if you want. I just have to set that up, and of course, if that's what like the majority wants, then I'll hit it up. Let's see. My phone is already in the way. Do 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 do. And then Kel said, "I'm down for dueling Nexus." And then Ryan said, "Do it." Do 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 do. Oh, I talked to Beth today. Beth is interested in doing superhero based conversations. If it's like comparing the comics to the movies, she doesn't read the comics. So it's just like she'll know what I'm talking about if I say what happens in the movie, because she'll be like, yeah, I saw the movie. And I'll be like, well, in the comics, it was like this. And then she'll be like, oh, really? You know, like that's interesting. So I think that's cool. She's interested in talking about like hypotheticals, like what if this had happened in the movie instead of what normally happened in the movie, and she's like, oh, um, and she's interested in like who would win battles, like who would win in a fight between like this guy in the movie and this other guy in the movie. But she's also into the concept of who would win fights if we make up characters, like if this character I made up and this character you made up fought, who will win in a fight. And I think that might be interesting because recently it came to me and Beth's attention that like we have like similar interests, but we don't really have anything that's like dead on the same. So I think this might be able to help a lot in trying to like give us something that we can vibe on more closely. Ryan then said The Wrath of the Sea and then posted a link to existentialcomics.com, which I didn't know was a thing. What is that? What is that? What are you sharing? Let's see. So I'm going to close this tab. There's just a lot on the screen currently. So I'm trying to see exactly how this is going to work. I'll probably need to take my phone and put it somewhere else. Maybe over here. This is a horrible location for the phone. Maybe over, nope. Maybe over here. Nope. Hmm. Maybe right here. Yes. That will probably do fine. Let's see. And then Ryan said it's a comic series about philosophy. I kind of like writing philosophical stuff. I feel like the book I just published, To Become a Dragon, was more of like a philosophical thing. I think I get more into writing philosophy stuff when I write really dialogue heavy books. Like books where like multiple characters end up discussing stuff. I feel like that's when I get into that more. But I feel like it really depends. And then Kel said, "Oh, and sorry, but Condo is gonna be pushed back because I'm gonna design my own Omnitrix. I need to draw a Squidward thing for my friends." Oh, no problem, Kels. No problem at all. I appreciate the fact that you're doing it in the first place. I'm not like, oh, it has to come at a certain time. Like you're good, dude. Let's see. So you guys want Nexus? So I gotta get Nexus set up, which means I gotta hit up Live Dashboard. Then I also need to go to like the normal dashboard. Oh, but how was everyone's day today? Does anyone have any questions for your boy or any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Because this show isn't just about your boy, it's about you guys. It's essentially more or less a public video call where anybody can like tune in and we can just like talk about stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Also, Kels, what would you call your Omnitrix? Like, what would you name it? Um, what colors would you have for your Omnitrix? Like, if the Omnitrix has like three basic colors, what are like the three colors that kind of make up the palette for yours? How would you get your Omnitrix? Would it be a similar thing where like you built it yourself? Would it be a thing where it like crash landed on Earth and you found it somewhere? I'd be really interested in hearing more about that. Ryan, you worked on a custom deck on Dueling Book, but I don't think you really told me anything about it for real, other than it's like made up of custom cards that you made. Um, what's like the not necessarily the gimmick of your deck, but what is like I guess the win con of your deck? Like what is it like striving to achieve? And what was like the inspiration for like the deck you made? I'm rather curious about like both the things that I asked. Let's see. Right now I'm getting the stream set up. I don't know what we said on the June 4th live stream, but it's still labeled as not suitable for most advertisers. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Also, did anyone else watch like the Google Stadia Connect stream? Does anyone have any questions about it? I noticed the games that I got hype about that they announced. Google Stadia is gonna have Samurai Showdown, so I might actually get Samurai Showdown. Mortal Kombat 11, and it's gonna have Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. It's gonna have more games than that, but those were the only games that really appealed to me. They didn't really announce like a ton of fighting games. Google Stadia also doesn't seem like it has anything that's like, oh, you gotta pay more for online. You know what I mean? It seems like online is free for Stadia, which I think is a dope concept. I really like that. Kel said, I'm not sure on the name yet. I know it's going to have an ultimate feature. Its main colors are going to be either blue or turquoise. I know I'm going to get it from Albedo. Albedo. And then he said, so I could fight you. So you're going to get it from Albedo instead of from like Azimuth. That makes sense. Albedo was the one who made the Ultimatrix, not Azimuth. Azimuth made that new hotness Omnitrix from Omniverse. And of course the OG Omnitrix. Let's see. So right now I'm getting a Nexus tab open sesame. Let's see. So now I need to set it to record the stream. Well, the screen. Blah, 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 blah. Yep. So share that entire screen. The whole last screen. Blah, blah, blah. And get Nexus up. And hit start broadcast. Hello everyone, it's your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting live stream. And in this video, we're going to be playing, Duel the Nexus, what? What? Duel the Nexus. This is going to be kind of interesting because I don't have it on, like, the big screen. I just have it on this little screen, which is my normal laptop size screen. So I'm going to have to put the windows up in such a way to where I can see what's going on in the game and what's in the chat, but my phone is blocking part of my screen, so the chat's not gonna fill the whole screen. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see. You said that your Omnitrix was gonna be um, either blue or turquoise. That reminds me of Ben23's Omnitrix, who essentially is just Ben if he liked Greek food and was more like Justin Bieber. So, interesting choice. Let's see. I could probably make this chat window smaller. I'm trying to manage space efficiently. Let's see. The nanny said, "Damn, Nick, did you broke up with someone?" Uh, I think you meant to say break up with someone, and nope. Me and Beth are still pretty happily together. I actually mainly just texted Beth today. I didn't do much of anything else. I'm still waiting to get that offer letter. But they say that it's like still like in like the bureaucratic process. Like I'm gonna get it, but there's just a lot of paperwork. It like takes time. So me and Beth mainly just texted like for most of the day. She's been studying because she's still taking like summer classes at like UAH. I've already graduated, so I've been mainly like reading comics. Did you watch the Google Stadia Connect? It's like their E3 presentation that Google did for their new gaming thing. It's kind of dope, to be honest. And they're gonna have Mortal Kombat 11 on it, as like a launch title, which I think is pretty dope as well. And Samurai Showdown is confirmed for Google Stadia, and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is confirmed. Nani said, I've been busy, but I'm drawing the Goku and Deku now. Yo, Nani, you should check out that fresh new fucking fan art that your boy Kels did. He did a fan art of me as like a Reach, which is essentially like one of the blue beetle creatures, with a custom Omnitrix. And it's pretty dope. I really like it. It has like my dreads and everything, and it has the color palette that I would want for like my Omnitrix and for like the transformation I have. And it kind of gives me Predator vibes, but it's like my favorite fan art that I've received so far is this new Kel's Hotness that he dropped. So I'd highly recommend that you check it out. Give me one moment, Ryan. I gotta go through and try and find the new deck. Gotta get to the new deck. Oh, here it is. Hey, good one. Let's see. So then Ryan said Jet broke up with his boy that he bounces on. Boy who he bounces on. I do not understand the joke slash reference. Then Nani said, so it's a console? And he said, I'll check it out in a little. And then Nani said, is the boy you, Ryan? So the Google Stadia thing isn't really a console. It more or less lets you stream AAA games directly to a Chrome browser on your TV, laptop, or tablet, and specifically only for Google Pixel phones, which kind of pisses me off, but it's a little irrelevant. Um, I'm interested in Google Stadia. Also, you don't have to pay like a subscription fee thing for it, which is another thing that I really like. Um, I think a lot of people kind of thought it was gonna like be a subscription fee thing, but it doesn't have to be that, which is what I think is dope. So I don't give a fuck about your torment token. Let's see. And then Nani said, "What's it called?" Type it in the chat. Google Stadia. Hey, it's definitely worth checking out. Hmm. He summoned a fat boy to the field. So Darkest Diablos. I now have to try harder to read shit on the screen. I don't remember what Diablos does. I don't think he has any quickie effects. I can't tribute him, so he's immune to kaijus. What a bitch. And then, if a dark monster you control is tributed, you can tribute one dark monster. Your opponent places one card from their deck on the top of their hand. Does it do more shit? I thought this did more shit. Let's see. Nani said I don't really get it though. I thought it was like a new console. It just lets you stream games from your browser. It's like a service. Think of it like an app. And it lets you buy and stream games from your browser, regardless of like what device you're on, which is really nice. Let's see. If you control no cards, you can activate this card from your hand. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Negate its effects until the end of the turn. Then, if this card was set before activation on a field, rest of the turn, all other spell and trap cards' effects are negated in this column. Interesting. Did you like negate Moon Mirror Shield with infinite transients? That seems like a very specific play. Like if I just had it in any other column, that wouldn't have worked. Pretty sneaky, sis. Nani said, what if there was a sex robot that you could smash and play games on? Well, sex robots are already like a thing. They're just expensive. Whether or not you'd be able to play games on them, what do you mean? Like, would there be a screen on it? Like on the back of the head? Like how? I don't understand. Would that screen be on the top of the head? Then Nani said, when does Google Stadia come out? The service comes out later this year. If you get like the Founders Edition or whatever. That's not what I wanted. Oh, this is your turn. See, I got confused. Because I wasn't paying attention. And then Nani said, oh, okay. If you want Google Stadia Base, which is probably what you want, it's just better. Google Stadia Base comes out next year. We don't have a specific time for it. Nani asked, where did all the crackheads go? I don't know where they were before. Let's see. Special summon. Yummy, yummy. Put that shit in a different space. Okay. He can just bring this back to life. Can't he? If I remember this correctly. Cannot tribute this face-up card on the field. Your opponent cannot tribute it on the field. You cannot target it with card effects. The Dark Moss you control is tribute. Can't target it with card effects. Wait a minute. Is it immune to Moon Mirror Shield nonsense? I actually don't know. That's kind of scary. Let's see. Kel said I was thinking that I got it from Albedo. You spell it differently like every time. I got you, my boy. This is Albedo. That's how you spell his name. Albedo as a prototype Ultimatrix, and he gave it to me as a means to deal with you without having to do it himself. But I used the Goblin guy to upgrade it. So you use Jury Rig to upgrade it? Hmm. That's that's possible but risky, I guess. The reason why I was so fine with using Jury Rig for my Omnitrix is because I already have like a jury rigged Omnitrix. Yours is like a it's not like a jury rigged thing. Like yours is like a professionally made thing. I feel like jury rig has the potential to possibly mess it up, like accidentally. Let's see. And then Ryan said the crackheads went up Thanos' ass. I guess they went head first into Thanos' crack. Let's see. Link summon. Da, 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 tribute one monster. Place one patrol counter on it. Da, na, da, na, 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 na. Okay, let's see. Ryan's got me on the ropes. The nanny said, Nick, so it's a controller? Nope, it's a service where you can buy and stream games in your browser. The controller just gives you additional features like Google Assistant when playing games and being able to stream directly to YouTube. But you don't need a controller. If you have something that can run the Chrome browser and you have like an internet speed of at least like 10 megabits per second, like minimum, then you can do some interesting shit with it. Like you can just use the service once it comes out. If you don't have that, then you should get one of those if you want to use the service. And that's excluding phones because right now their phone restrictions are garbage. So if you have a TV, a tablet, or a computer that can run like the Google Chrome browser, and you have internet speeds of at least 10 megabits per second, which you probably do if you're watching this video at any quality, then I think you can just use the Google Stadia service. Buy a game, like let's say like you bought Mortal Kombat 11, but you already have Mortal Kombat 11. Let's say you bought Samurai Showdown or whatever. You could just play it instantly on whatever device you had, and you could use like your own USB enabled controllers. So you could use like PS4 controllers and shit like that with it, and you could play just wherever you had like good Wi-Fi connection, just wherever. It's really nice. And it seems like there isn't like an online fee or anything. I think you get free online. And all you had to do is buy the game, and you just kind of have it. You know what I mean? So it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Your boy Ryan's dunking on me with the quickness. Kel said to prevent mistakes, I could make a clone using Echo Echo, or that other clone guy. Have that clone turn into gray matter, and then work on it together. Mm. Having the clone turn into gray matter is a little risky. The reason why I say that is because having gray matter. Oh yeah. So the aliens, whenever you like turn into a clone, and then turn back into yourself, so there are two of you and there are two Omnitrixes. It creates like an interesting problem because your aliens become half as good. So you would have a gray matter who is half as smart as a normal gray matter. So that would be the only fear there. Like the aliens' abilities are kind of split between the different ones. So you would only get the full intellect of gray matter if both you and your clone turn into gray matter. If only one of you turn into gray matter, then it's like a half a smart gray matter, which is still hella smart, but you're just not getting the most out of that alien as if you like didn't do that. Also, gray matter I think can analyze the Omnitrix just the way it normally is. You know, like I don't think he needs to be in front of it, even if it's like on his back. Gray matter's just smart. I think he can just tinker with it and like figure some shit out. Um, I don't know what Ryan's doing because I'm pretty sure he could just kill me like when he wants, but he's not. So the game's dragging a little bit. He might have like a play, like he might be like, "Oh, I'm like specifically trying to get a play," which is understandable. Boom, 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 boom. My deck isn't too consistent. Um, I could probably sit on that because he's just not swinging actively. So I could probably do that at my whim. Then Kel said, dude, a fusion between Jury Rig and Gray Matter would be dope. It'd be interesting because I do feel like that's like the biggest pitfall of Gray Matter. Even though he's really smart, he doesn't have a power that inherently just makes him be able to like build shit. So I feel like that's part of like Gray Matter's issue. Nani said, Kels, what if the guy using it is gay? Would he be more powerful? Well, it's not gay matter, it's gray matter. So I don't really think that has much to do with anything. Let's see. These are both link twos. And then Nani said, pun Nick. Let's see. And then Nani said Ryan could use gay matter. Wait, what did he do? Oh, he attributed his own thing. So I still got eradication virus. Well, get fucked me. Ooh. You're getting fucked all around, my boy. Ayy. I could have chained my thing. I sat on my hands too long. It doesn't really matter. About to take that L. But jury rig and gray matter put together, would it be like jury matter? Would it be matter rig? Gray rig? Gray jury? Jury gray? Um, jury rig. Hmm. Well, I mean, that's if you try to combine the pre-existing names. You don't really have to. You can just name it your own thing. Like the fusions can just have unique names. So if I was really smart and I was able to like take random shit and just build whatever I wanted out of it, um, MacGyver is such a like weird reference. Um, let's see. I'm really smart and I can just put shit together out of random shit. But I'm not trying to go on a like on the nose MacGyver reference. I'm trying to be more clever about it. Maybe inventor. It's just a word. I noticed that a lot of the alien names that I've thought of, like if I was to name them, would just be words. Like if I was to name Alien X, I would just call him Imagine. And if I was to name like feedback plus like a reach thing, I would name it like Conduit. And even just for like a reach thing, I would name it whatchamajigger. I'd name it Armor On, which is just two English words. Ooh, two words. So I guess I would just call Jury Rig plus Gray Matter Inventor. And it's more that just is accurate. He just is an He just is an inventor. Hmm. Kel said Jet be expanding his vocabulary. Then Ryan said, "How could I use gay matter?" Well, let's see what the punchline to Nani's joke is. Dun, 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 dun. And then Nani just said, "Nick the Great." Boom, 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 boom. Oh, he gave me my guy back. How generous. Oh, wait. That was interesting. And then Nani said, "Because how else? Question mark being gay." It's interesting for someone to ask, "How can I X?" Because how else? Because that's just not a real answer. GG. Hashtag GG. Hashtag good game. Hashtag handshake. Kel said gay matter is just gray matter, but he's a homosexual. But it still counts as a separate trans. It's an omnitrix, but whatever you turn into is also gay. Let's see. And then Ryan said, "But I'm not gay." That is true. Ryan is not gay. And then Nani said, "I wonder how Nick would look if he trimmed his beard." You can just look at older videos. I used to have like no hair. You know this. And then Nani said, "How do we know if he's not gay?" I mean, he's telling you. I don't know what more you want from him. Do you not trust Ryan? I feel that Ryan is a trustworthy person. Okay, Kels. Good luck, have fun. Hashtag GLHF. Hope we have a wonderful duel. Let's duel you. Nani said, "I need proof." How would you feel if Ryan asked for proof that you were like hetero? Kevin said, "Sup, Jet in chat." Yo, Kevin, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Mm. Mm. He's summoning multiple monsters at once. I think this is going to be interesting. Nani then said, "It looks the same." And then Ryan said, "Proof of what?" And then Nani said, "I seen." I believe you meant to say, "I've seen." Kevin said, "Why is it Dark Exodia gets very little love?" Um, how do you feel, Ryan, about like the darker Exodia? Because I believe that Ryan has like played with that before, and Kirby's played with that before. I've never really shown a lot of interest in like the Necro Exodia or whatever it's called. Let's see. And then Nani said, "You with a dot 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 girl." And then Ryan said, "Which girl? How?" Then Nani said, "Your best song, Nick, is the Ultra Instinct song." I feel like you're saying that specifically because it has like a music video to it. And then Ryan said, "Necros?" Yeah, Exodia Necros. What are your thoughts like on that? Kel said, "Oof." Let me actually read this card. It can attack twice. Let's see. Okay. Not a bad setup. So, as long as I come on and play my cards right, I should be pretty okay. There you go. Got you a monster. Let's see. And then Ryan said Necros question mark. Then I said maybe. Then Ryan said Necros is ass tier. He said the anime version is way better. Well, Kevin, I feel like that might be like a good answer to your question. Ryan, I feel like is more of a Yu-Gi-Oh expert than me, so I trust his opinion on that. First, I'm going to equip Rainbow Veil to Raiden. If the equipped monster battles an opponent's monster while that monster is on the field, its effects are negated until the end of the battle phase. So if I swing into one of your monsters who has a monster effect, I can just ignore that monster effect. I am also going to activate White Veil. So White Veil's effect, um, pretty much, so your spells are useless. That's your spells and traps. It's more or less just a dick on. Specifically when I'm swinging at you, your spells and traps, so just don't depend on those. Wouldn't be safe or wise. I noticed niggas are running infinite transients. I'm not a fan. Can that card get out? Get out. Let's see. And then Kevin said, true, anime is better, but anything in the anime is better. And then Ryan said, not always. Let's see. I'm curious how this match against Kells is going to go. Kells has a pretty thicky life lead. So I got to see if I can get around that. Really, all it takes is for Kells to summon something bigger than my guy. I need one more card to complete my guy, but I don't have it currently. This Kel's about to go into a level. I have to say a level 8. But now he has 3 hoes. He could go into a level 8 or a level 6. And if there were level 12s, then a level 12, I guess. Kevin said, remember, Ryan, they cheat in the anime. For the longest time, they used to special summon without tribute. Well, the anime was just kind of different. Ooh. Hashtag GG, hashtag good game, hashtag handshake. The rules earlier on in the anime were different. It wasn't as much that they were cheating, as much as just the rules weren't the same as they are now. Kells got the fuck out of me in that game. Well, who is the next dude? Okay, we're gonna go up against Blair. Oh, Blair got me in the rock, paper, scissors. Okay. So no matter what, I won't have all the cards I need next turn. Kel said, why don't you vibe with the Ultimatrix? Oh, me personally? Um, I think the concept of the Ultimatrix is cool. The way that they execute like Ultimate Aliens, I think is kind of dumb. Like I don't like Ultimate Humongosaur specifically. He like evolved to have guns for hands. I don't like that. I think that's kind of gross. I think that's actually like the thing that I didn't like about it is that like that's not evolution. That's just kind of bullshit. Um, the main Omnitrix, I'm kind of fine with. It in its own right, I think is really good. And to be honest, sometimes I prefer the normal version of an alien over its ultimate form. Like, anyways, like I don't like how I was about to say Ultimate Big Chill is really bulky. That's not true. They just started making Big Chill bulky in Omniverse for some reason instead of like the more skinnier framed setup for Big Chill. Um, Ultimate Big Chill wasn't bad. It's like so cold, it's hot, but I think it actually could melt stuff, which I hated. The like ice that looks like fire. I don't like that the ice looks like fire. I get what they're going for, but it's still just kind of dumb. So what does this card do? Performance Trick Clown. Send to the graveyard, target one performance monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Okay. And are there any performance monsters currently in the graveyard? There are not. Cool. What do you do, Minerva? Detach one material, send the top three to the graveyard. This card is destroyed by battle, destroyed by opponent's card effect. Um, does it matter if I destroy it by tributing? Okay. So we pop that, so we can special summon that, so we can activate that on that, and set this card in a battle phase. Hit the kaiju. Let's see. Um, let's see. Kevin said, "Jar of Greed. What does it do? The world would never know." And remember, MST doesn't negate. It's true that MST doesn't negate. Um, Pot of Greed is what most people refer to, and lets you draw two cards. Um, Kells, I understand why people like the Ultimatrix. I guess I kind of wish that the Ultimate forms were just better. I feel like the concept is really good. The way it was executed, I felt was kind of weak. I think I prefer normal Swamp Fire over like Ultimate Swamp Fire. Ultimate Swamp Fire seemed to be less about fire and more about like pods and like plant based shit. So it seemed like Ultimate Swamp Fire was just closer to Wild Vine, which was just already an alien. Um, Big Chill is like, what if I'm actually fire stuff? And it's like, well, that just wasn't really what you were in the first place. And I preferred you just being like an ice based thing. It's weird that your ice is it's fine that it's so cool that it feels like fire. I don't like the concept of it actually melting anything because it's ice. Um, then the Humongousaur having guns thing I thought was silly. And it was a thing where not all the aliens got ultimate forms. Wild Mutt's ultimate form is just red and can talk. That was kind of fucking weird. I wasn't a fan of that. Um, 'Cause my ultimate form is language. Oh shit. I can actually communicate. This is crazy. Kel said, I think it's really cool. I wish we saw more Ultimate Aliens, because maybe if we saw more, we could see Ultimate forms like Ultimate Echo Echo. Ultimate Echo Echo is a thing that just already is in the show. That was also dumb. I didn't like Ultimate Echo Echo. So Ultimate Echo Echo makes stereo disc, and it can like clone those disc instead of making clones of itself, and it can suspend the disc in the air. I felt like Ultimate Echo Echo was actually kind of worse than the normal Echo Echo, but it could levitate, which I guess was cool. But that was my thing. A lot of the Echo Echo, not the Echo Echo, a lot of the ultimate forms I think were just worse than the normal forms. They just became different things altogether, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but not as good as it could have been. And Kel said, by that I mean them being good. Well, if only there were them being good. That'd be nice. Ryan then said Echo 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 Echo. Hey, let's see. We're just gonna go into battle phase. Try and kill his shit. Discard one card, target one light graveyard, special summon once per turn, in phase, and top three. That is also a scary card. Let's see. Oh, that was a interesting yikes situation. Kel said, I think Ultimate Echo Echo is dope. I think visually Ultimate Echo Echo looks a lot cooler than how it actually is. Let's see. Ryan said, the Matrix is real. The aliens are real. They took me to their mothership. What's your thoughts, Jet, when you hear weird stories like that? People who claim they had that experience. I mean, I can't judge. Maybe that did happen. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. But I mean, I wasn't there. I can't like be like Oh, I know for a fact that didn't happen. But at the same time, I'm not going to go as far as to be like it did necessarily. You know, just take it with a grain of salt, the same way that you would take anything with a grain of salt, where you don't necessarily have evidence. And then Ryan said they watched too much Ancient Aliens. And then Kevin said Ryan LMAO. Hyperstar. Kel said, I do agree that a lot of the ultimate forms are lackluster. The sad truth. That's why they made it up to us when they had Omni enhanced aliens. Oh shit. The Omni enhanced aliens in like the reboot, that's what the ultimate form should have been. All of the aliens are better. Omni enhanced. And it's not like their functionality becomes entirely different. I think that's my problem. A lot of the ultimate aliens, the designs weren't really that cool. And the concept was, what if they're like completely different from what they were before, which I don't like. Instead of making them completely different, they're like, what if they're just better at what they already do and all their designs improve because they all get like lightning and like stone based armor and shit. It's gonna be really cool looking. Um, and we don't change what they do entirely. It's just they're better at shit they already do, or things that they weren't good at before they're good at now. But it doesn't remove functionality. Um, Omni Enhanced Gray Matter is still probably like one of the best fucking Ben 10 forms. That shit was solid. Because gray matter has always been like, I'm really smart, but I'm really small at the same time. So I'm kind of like fragile and I'm not a good fighter. And Omni Enhanced Gray Matter is like, you have like a big stone ass body. So now you're like more durable. And you have like electric extending plasma arms and legs. And you can actually kind of like throw those hands if need be, like in a fight. I really fucked with that. I was like, oh, Gray Matter is just all around better than he normally is once he's Omni enhanced. That's what you'd want, and that's what they gave us. I told, sir, you just stank ass to leave. That's right, it's your boy Radiant in the house. Let's see. Kevin said, Ryan, do you think they should make Pumpkin King cards and support? I think so. Maybe if it's made right. Pumpkin King. Oh, Judgment Dragon? Cool. That's GAME. That's hella game. This is a deck that I have made. It is not good. Oh, two Judgment Dragons. Damn. Yeah, I have not made a good deck. Oh, hashtag GG. Hashtag good game. Hashtag handshake. It's not consistent. Um, and I rely on too many parts, and those parts are only ever good when I fight. So like Moon Mirror Shield protects me from battle, which is nice when I get it, and then Rainbow Veil protects me from like monster effects, but only when I fight. And White Veil protects me from like spells and traps, but only when I fight. So it's just not good enough. Let's see. And then Ryan said they already have Pumpkin King cards. And then Kevin said only one card or many cards. And then Ryan said Princess. Then Kel said I really hate the Ultimate Spider Monkey and Ultimate Cannon Bolt. Ultimate Spider Monkey just looked like he lost all his agility and speed. They were like, he'd be better if he was just stronger, which I think is dumb. Because he was a very, like, quick, on his feet kind of alien. And then he said, Ultimate Spider Monkey is just a bug monkey with spider legs, and Ultimate Cannonbolt is the same, but with little nubs. Yeah, they gave him, like, little things on, like, the outside, and they're like, that's good. He still rolls into a ball, but he has like little jagged outer parts. And then Kevin said, "Oh yeah, Princess is the baby pumpkin, and the pumpkin cards aren't good. Wow. I'm about to end the stream for now, but I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we do these live streams. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black the One Only, logging out. Thank you guys all for tuning in, and peace.